TrueSky can report on any data that we have in the system. That could be sales forecasting, it could be FTE and headcount type reports, or it could even be financial statements. So here's an example up on screen of an income statement. Now these are presentation quality. You can print these out, you can email these as well, and like everything else in TrueSky, you're going to get to determine what's on rows, what's on columns, how many years of actual, how many years of budget, and so forth. But we also have some additional features here. So I'm going to expand out on my projected right here. And you can see that I am bringing back 4 months of actual and 8 months of budget, right? So I can end up seeing where I'm going to be at the end of the year on my projection. Now, reporting within TrueSky can be set up to have intelligence in it, such that it knows what month we're in. And next month, it could automatically add 1 more month of actual and drop off a month of budget. So all your reports can cycle forward automatically. Or if you want to have reports that show this year's number and then the same period 12 months ago, reports like that can be created as well. So you're going to be able to determine that level of detail. Now I'm going to go up here. I'm also going to expand my groupings down the side here. And you can see that these reports can be set up to do a different mix of groupings, such as product revenue, which is kind of a roll-up. But down here, cost of goods, I'm bringing back individual GL accounts. I'm going to scroll down here. And even here is administrative expenses. So if I expand this out, you'll see I've got all the other GL accounts that I was working with earlier when I was showing you budgeting and forecasting. And from any of these areas here, I can do the exact same drill downs that I was talking about earlier. So again, even in a reporting world, you've got the ability to do drill down back to the source data. And I can also add notes. So if people want to explain in a reporting environment, why their actuals are so high or so low, not just the budget numbers, but even the actuals, you can add notes on the reports as well. So again, with TrueSky, you're going to get budgeting and forecasting, deep dive analytics, as well as reporting. The final thing I want to talk about is the kind of the fourth use of TrueSky. I've shown you budgeting and forecasting, deep dive analytics, reporting, and now I want to talk a little bit about dashboarding. So within TrueSky, you can create different kinds of dashboards. Now, these dashboards can be more than just pretty pictures and charts and graphs. You can also use them for what-if type analysis. So I have one here that's very financial based. And you can see that we're showing kind of what our trend of revenue is, projected versus actual, and so forth for revenue, compensation, expenses, and ultimately at the end of the day, how our net income goes. But let's say we want to play around with some of the numbers here. Well, let's see, maybe we can increase revenue. I know we can't do it because we've got to put some plans in place. We can't do it until August, but you know what? Maybe we could actually double our revenue. So we're going to put in 100% there, okay? And now you can see how that affects the revenue and ultimately the net income. But we know everyone's kind of clamoring for a raise, so we're going to click here and say, okay, we're going to have to give them a raise. We can probably push that off until May, and everyone's going to get a really big raise, so they're going to be happy about that. So what happens to our compensation budget right there, as well as our net income? But you know what? We know we can go on a hardcore cost-cutting spree here. So we're going to cut down our expenses. We're going to cut everything down by 50%. And so now I can see how our budget, our what if, and our actual forecast is all going to trend and what's going to happen with our net income at the end of the day. So again, TrueSky gives you a lot of different components that you can work with, right? You can do budgeting and forecasting, you can do deep dive analytics, you can do reporting, you can do dashboarding. When you deploy TrueSky, you're going to get all of this functionality, and you can choose to deploy any or all of it depending on how your organization needs to function.